Next news. Breaking news from the White House.
Right now, the real fight in Washington is not over a bill, a vote, or even a headline. It's over who gets to define America in the most symbolic ground in the nation, the National Mall. President Trump's team is restoring beauty, pride, and power to the Capitol ahead of America's 250th birthday. The reflecting pool is gleaming. The White House is preparing for a historic celebration. And right as that happens, the left lashes out in the exact place where America tells its story. This is bigger than grass, bigger than paint, bigger than one ugly message. The question is, who owns the meaning of America now? And I'll tell you why this matters, because the Trump administration is not simply cleaning up Washington, D.C. It's reclaiming the Capitol as a showcase of American greatness. The time lapse of the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool says it all. Drained, repainted, restored, and refilled. Interior Secretary Doug Burgum put it perfectly. Made the reflecting pool great again. President Trump sharing the beautiful finished images himself, with the Washington Monument and the reflecting pool looking polished, calm, and unmistakably patriotic. Even a Democrat in D.C. was forced to admit the new look is better, saying she hated that it actually looked really good. And that's the visual contrast the left can't stand. They prefer the old algae green decline because decline is their comfort zone. Trump is building a Capitol ready for America 250 with civic pride, historic landmarks, and even a White House UFC event that Secretary Rubio says is a gift to the American people. That backdrop is exactly why the attacks are escalating. As we watch this battle over America's future play out in full view, it's also a reminder to think ahead before the crowd catches on. If you could go back in time before and buy oil before the world relied on it, would you? Well, of course you would. Anyone would. So why aren't you buying silver right now? The people who recognized oil early didn't just make money, they got ahead of one of the biggest economic shifts in history, and today a similar opportunity is unfolding with silver. You see, silver is more than a precious metal. It's a critical resource used in solar panels, electric vehicles, defense systems, AI infrastructure, and the manufacturing base that powers modern life. Demand is rising, and smart Americans are paying attention. Now, not later. Noble Gold Investments can help you learn more. Visit nextnewsgold.com, and for a limited time, you could receive a 1/10 ounce gold coin with a qualifying purchase. Now back to the fight over who gets to shape the image of America itself. See, just when the restoration story was becoming impossible to deny, the sabotage started. First, vandals reportedly cut President Trump's face out of signs around D.C. Then came the bigger message, etched onto the National Mall itself. 8647. That's not random. That's not harmless. It appeared right as thousands prepared to descend on the Capitol for celebrations, flyovers, and major public events. In other words, this was placed where it would be seen, where it would spread, and where it would collide directly with Trump's renewal of Washington. President Trump didn't just drain the swamp, he refilled it with clean, beautiful American flag blue water, and this is what I voted for. Bo Loudon posting the images here. Look at that. Beautiful blue water on the right, and that's what it looked like beforehand. So the side-by-side says it all. Trump didn't just clean up the mall, he brought the shine back. Now, watch the full time-lapse as crews drain, repaint, and refill the Lincoln reflecting pool. So here's the time lapse, the draining of it, the basin repainted, American flag blue. Wow. So they must have had a camera right there on the top of the Washington Monument. That's the only way they can get the shot like that. Absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to be there. Oh, Earth Cam. Is that the Earth Cam shot? All right. Well, I'll be in D.C. to see all of this. And you'll see that you just saw the transformation. Here is the Interior Secretary Doug Burgum with a simple message, make the reflecting pool great again. And he posted this video, another time lapse from the other angle, looking from the top of the Lincoln Memorial. This is about a minute long. It's wild. You see all the weather patterns, the sun, the activity, the lights. I mean, the fact that they got this done in such a short amount of time is just remarkable. And I think when Obama did it, it took like 2 years for them to do it, and then all the algae returned. It cost like $35 million or something crazy. President Trump getting it done in just a few weeks. Wow. Look at this. This is just so cool to watch. Wow. All right, come on. Let's see the filling. Oh, there it is. Wow. How cool. Oh, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Freedom 250. Department of the Interior. So he's putting a stamp on the project as the work comes into focus next. More of those polished views Trump shared himself. This is what President Trump posted. So the postcard shots are exactly where the left can't stand success. Next one, Democrat in D.C. admits on camera, the new reflecting pool looks great and hates to say it.
I thought it was a stupid idea to paint the reflecting pool, but y'all, it looks good. It actually looks really good. Like, it makes the reflection look extraordinarily prominent in a way that it did not look before. And I hate that.
Oh, wow. Unreal, man. Even critics are being forced to concede the obvious. Now hear from a visitor at the pool who says Lincoln himself would be smiling.
Lincoln looking over that pond right now, and I'm sure he's smiling up in heaven above saying, job well done.
Job well done indeed. So the public reactions, shifting gears, Rubio explains why the White House UFC event is being pitched as a gift to the American people.
The White House is the people's house. It belongs to the people of the United States. The American 250 celebration belongs to the people of the United States. And there are millions and millions of Americans from all walks of life that are not necessarily attuned to politics or the financial markets or anything else, but they love the sport. And every Saturday, we got a big event once a month. They're tuning in and they're watching and they host it. For them to be able to see this event with their White House in the background as part of our celebration as a country in our 250 years, I think is a gift to the American people. That's what Sunday is about. It's a gift to the American people. They're going to see their White House in their capital on their nation's birthday, celebrating with a historic event. We could have had a band, and we have great bands. We could have done a Shakespeare in the Park production. There are a lot of things we could have done with it, but this one will have people watching, probably over, 1 billion people all over the world. 1 billion people all over the world will be watching America celebrate its 250th birthday with the White House in the background and some of the best athletes in the world in that octagon. And we're happy to be a part of that, and we're happy to be a part of all the things we're going to be working on together in the years to come.
So he says celebrations for the people, not the D.C. elite, but while the Capitol is being restored, vandals already targeting pro-Trump signs near the reflecting pool. Vandals cut President Trump's face from signs across D.C. Workers at the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool reported the destruction. Interior Department NSP did not respond to requests for details about the investigation. Look at that. Crew took it down. Told me Trump hard hat signs cut up all over D.C. the same night. They're investigating, apparently. No response. Wow. So while workers are cleaning up the nation's front yard, the anti-Trump crowd is busy tearing things down. Next, here more D.C. liberals complain they preferred the old algae green look.
I would have preferred to keep it like it was.
It's an incredibly stupid idea. I'm delighted that it's still reflecting.
I think it's horrible. The color I've seen on the news is disgusting to me, as opposed to how beautiful it was in the past.
Yeah, probably watching MSNBC. They'd rather defend green scum than admit Trump made it better, and now the ugliness gets worse. A sick 8647 message shows up on the National Mall. Sick plot exposed. Someone traced 8647 into the grass near the World War II memorial. Photographer caught it right before authorities arrived. They're openly threatening Trump's life. Take a look at this.
National Mall. Mark Meredith is live from the White House with the latest. What's the story, Mark?
Will, good afternoon. What a day it's been here in Washington. At this hour, it's unclear if this was one person or multiple people who were responsible for vandalizing the National Mall, but it is certainly easy to spot, at least from up high. Take a look at the vantage point. We can see down the National Mall, the numbers 8647 appeared in the green grass, not far from the World War II memorial. We don't know how extensive this damage is and whether this is easily repairable, but it's not just the vandalism that's notable, it's the message. 8647 has become a mainstream way to show disgust with President Trump. 86 usually means to axe or kill something, usually used in the restaurant industry, and 47 traditionally references President Trump, as he's both the 45th and 47th president. We got a statement from the Department of Interior which says the deranged vandalism on our National Mall will not be tolerated. Any threat against the president is taken very seriously by the department, and our U.S. Park Police will investigate this incident and hold those responsible accountable. Now, the most notable incident of 8647 trend came after former FBI Director James Comey posted this on Instagram back in 2025. It's the same message, but made out of seashells. The Justice Department says it considers it a threat on Trump's life. A grand jury in North Carolina indicted Comey over this matter. You may remember a similar case on this exact same post was not successful. But either way, this is getting a lot of attention. What's happening on the
So the report lays out the threat in plain English and the motive behind it. Now Fox follows the federal response as authorities investigate the massive markings. It's become mainstream, 8647, a way for President Trump's critics to show disgust. Department of Interior says the deranged vandalism on our National Mall will not be tolerated. Here's another shot of it. You can see the 8 right here. And you can see the 6. You can sort of make it out. Not sure exactly how they did it. All they got to do is kill the grass. And then the 4 would be here. And you can clearly see the 7. So they're working to restore it. Federal investigators are on it. Administration calling it deranged vandalism. Fox and Friends digs into how the grass may have been damaged.
Interior is calling this an act of deranged vandalism, with authorities not only trying to figure out who did this, but also what caused the discoloration in the grass. The U.S. Park Service say that markings reading 8647 were discovered around 11:30 yesterday afternoon on the west side of the Washington Monument. The anti-Trump sequence has emerged just as the National Mall is preparing for an influx. Thousands of visitors preparing to come this way for Sunday's UFC match and President Trump's birthday. Also, all the recent beautification efforts that have taken place around that direct area. 47 being a reference to President Trump, and 86, that is often noted as slang for getting rid of something. The question is, by what means? The numbers were made notable by former FBI Director James Comey, who's currently facing federal charges for a May Instagram post of seashells laying out those numbers. That was last May. He maintains that this was not a call to violence. Now, the White House differs on that. And their response to this most recent vandalism on the mall, they write this: anyone who engages in or endorses political violence or assassination culture must be condemned in the harshest terms possible. So these markings do appear to have been maybe burned in some way. It's very large on the that section of the National Mall. But again, investigators are looking into that. They're actually taking grass samples to find out what exactly caused that discoloration.
So the investigation is taking samples and track whoever did it. The contrast couldn't be clearer. We end on American strength overhead with the Blue Angels and Thunderbirds roaring over the White House. This is a flyover that will take place on Sunday at the UFC fight. Blue Angels, baby. You gotta love it. How cool. So, that's the core of the story. The National Mall is no longer just a tourist stop. It is contested ground in the battle over America's identity. On one side, you have the Trump administration restoring monuments, polishing the Capitol, preparing America 250. and inviting the country to celebrate with confidence. On the other side, you have liberals whining they prefer the old green pool, vandals defacing pro-Trump imagery, and authorities now investigating a giant 8647 threat near some of the most sacred memorial space in the country. The location is everything. This happened beside the symbols of national memory, sacrifice, and unity. The left understands that symbols matter, which is exactly why they target them. They cannot create beauty, so they try to destroy it. So Americans should see this clearly. President Trump's keeping his promise not only to put America first in policy, but to restore visible pride in the nation's capital itself. Clean monuments, a renewed reflecting pool, blue angels and thunderbirds overhead, a White House celebration designed for the people in a country getting ready to mark 250 years of freedom. That's the story. And the meltdown from the left proves it's working. They're furious because restoration is powerful. It tells the public that decline is not normal, rot is not inevitable, and American greatness can be revived when real leadership's in charge. So when you see vandalism on the mall, remember, this is not just destruction. It is an attempt to seize symbolic control of America's story. Don't let them do it. Share this report. Comment below, subscribe to the channel, and answer the simple yes or no question. Should anyone caught defacing the National Mall face serious federal charges? I want to hear from you. I want to make sure you get the news that you rely on. When the notifications don't arrive, when the algorithm buries us under countless cat videos and CNN spin, we have a solution. Text raw feed to 844-840-4963. Thousands and thousands of patriots are already getting the notifications when YouTube never sends them. I want to make sure you get them and you stay in the loop. And make sure, since we're celebrating America 250, you get some gear to celebrate with us. Check out the Next News merch shelf below this video, or simply go to shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.